So it's probably safe to say that a lot of you watching right now have some Christmas movies that you consider classics, movies that you put on every single year around this time. But there's also a ton of people out there that just absolutely hate Christmas movies. So I figured it'd be fun to go through some negative reviews on Letterboxd of some of the Christmas movie classics. So let's do it. All right, so on my channel, we've gone through so many critic reviews for classic movies, but this time, I'm kind of tired of the politically correct, typical critic review for a movie. This time, let's hear from some people like us, especially those Scrooges that just do not like some of the best Christmas movies of all time. This feels kind of weird, though. This kind of feels like I'm stepping into a bit of the Wild West for reviews here. This might get a little crazy. The first movie we're going to talk about, though, is going to be National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation from 1989. So Christmas Vacation was watched by 410,000 Letterboxd members, and the first person up on deck to review this movie that we're going to read was Ed Henderson, who gave Christmas Vacation 1 star. And they said, feels like 50 writers each penned a scene in isolation with no rewrites or cohesion. The result? No plot, no consistency, and only the occasional chuckle. Overall, a disjointed mess. Excuse me? You put some respect on John Hughes's name, sir. This is basically a chronological timeline of this family's Christmas from hell. I mean, yes, they made this stupid decision to invite all these family members, 10 days before Christmas or something like that. But it's just watching this entire roller coaster crazy ride up until the 25th and kind of beyond in some ways that just ensues from that. Cohesion? I mean, of course it's pure madness. Of course it's all over the place. What do you think would happen when you invite these people especially over to your house this early for Christmas? It's going to get wild, Ed. Okay? So I do not agree, Ed. I don't know what you're talking about, sir. But the next one we're going to read, they actually gave this Christmas Vacation 2 stars. This one's going to be from a Joshua Rainey. And they said, I've seen this before, but it's been a while. And I don't know if I've ever watched it alone or in one sitting. If I'm being honest, I had a few laughs, but kind of found myself getting bored. But then being underwhelmed by something Christmas related that used to bring you joy feels on theme. Oh, damn, that's actually kind of deep and kind of makes me feel a little bit sad. So, before I cry, let's just go ahead and move along to the next review. All right, the next review I'm going to read is from Lupita, and they gave Christmas Vacation 2 stars, and they said, they don't care that the cat got electrocuted? Hello? Why did they have more emotions with the squirrel than with the cat dying? They showed the dead cat? That's kind of funny. Yeah, Lupita, must be a cat person, huh? But yeah, that's pretty funny. The next person we're going to read is from Agit95. So I'm going to guess that's maybe your birth, 1995. So we're going to take that into consideration with your review because, you're kind of a little bit of a youngster. You're getting a little older, but still a bit of a youngster in my opinion. They gave Christmas Vacation 1.5 stars. And they said, we literally turned this off in 20 minutes from the end of the film. We were so frustrated by it. Not trying to yuck the yum of people that hold this as a favored Christmas movie, but it's mean-spirited and centers on one of the most unlikable protagonists I've ever watched in a comedy movie. Mean-spirited? What are you smoking? I mean, say whatever you want about Chevy Chase, but Clark Griswold, in my opinion, this man has the patience of a saint in this movie. Did you not witness what Clark had to go throughout this entire movie? Are you kidding me? You would have probably killed everyone in this house up to this point. Clark is kind of a saint. Like I said, say whatever you want about Chevy Chase in real life, but still. I mean, yes, is a lot of it probably self-inflicted by Clark? Yeah, probably. But mean-spirited? Get out of here. All right, enough with Christmas Vacation. Let's move on to the next movie, which is going to be Jingle All the Way from 1996, which was watched by 291,000 Letterboxd members. And the first person up on deck, let's see what you have to say, is going to be Paul Frank, which gave the movie 2 stars. And they said, based on the way the local moms are thirsting over Ted, oh Ted, in the opening scenes, Jingling isn't the only thing going all the way in this movie. Okay, so what did you think about the movie, Paul? But yeah, Ted is a ridiculous character, and Arnold, I mean, within the first like 10 minutes of this movie, should have just beaten the living shit out of that guy. Come on. Like, just the fact that Arnold is able to hold it together, and this guy is not buried 6 feet under in his backyard somewhere, before the movie even starts, is kind of impressive, in my opinion, right? But Ted, I mean, great job. Great job. Ted's great in this movie, though. All right, the next person up on deck to talk about Jingle All the Way and give us a negative review on this Christmas classic is going to be someone by the name of Level 1 Frog. Okay, they gave it 1.5 stars, and they said, I spent the majority of the runtime reading about the life of Phil Hartman and how he got murdered by his wife, because it was funnier than this. Oh, holy shit. This actually kind of got dark really quick. Did I mention that these reviews were going to kind of be a little bit like the Wild West? Okay, that was kind of dark. Let's just move along to the next person by the name of Swedish Plumber. And they gave Jingle All the Way 2.5 stars. I mean, that's not bad. What is that, like a 50%? Right? But, well, that was pretty stupid, they said. I can see why people like this growing up. I mean, I completely missed the boat, but this really is so 90s. Phil Hartman puts on a masterclass of performance, just an absolute sleazebag. It's great. On a related note, Arnold Schwarzenegger's character being named Howard kills me. Same Swedish Plumber, same. That has always killed me ever since I was a kid. You have this character like Arnold being named Howard. I mean, that's as 90s as you can get. I already mentioned this too. Yeah, Phil Hartman, totally agree. Puts on a masterclass performance in this. But yeah, I mean, come on, stupid? Jingle All the Way? Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is kind of stupid, but in a fun way, And yes, I agree. Phil Hartman was great. All right, the next person to come on here and just try to shat on a Christmas movie classic like this is going to be someone by the name of Carissa Nicole 5. And they gave this movie 2 stars, and they said, mailman threatens to bomb a radio station. Threatens to, and actually does bomb a whole squad of police officers, and throws a child off a building. And he's worried about being a bad dad for not getting a toy. Bro gonna be given the gift of your dad's in jail this year. Hey, as long as that kid gets that turbo, man, that'll probably hold him over until dad gets out, right? No, actually not, because you damn kids just basically, we go out there, we risk our life to get you a toy, and then you're just sick of the toy typically in like a day, right? That's usually how it works. Damn kids. But yeah, it is pretty funny. Not only that Sinbad is in this movie, and I haven't seen Sinbad in a movie or in anything in a hot minute. Is he still alive? Let me know down in the comments down below. I have no idea. But yeah, the things that Sinbad does in this movie is absurd that he gets away with. Just crazy, especially for a federal worker on a holiday. Come on, sir. All right, let's move on from Jingle All the Way and move on to another Christmas movie that I personally consider a classic, which is going to be Bad Santa from 2003, watched by 150,000 people on Letterboxd. The first person up on deck to try to roast this movie that I love is going to be Amanda Gonzalez. They gave it a 0.5 star. How dare you, Amanda? How dare you? But Amanda said, I don't think I've ever seen anything I've hated more, and I only made it 24 minutes into the movie. Well, Amanda, why don't you lighten up a little bit, Amanda? Relax a little bit here. What's the matter? You can't believe this story about a mall Santa who secretly robs the malls that he works for and then also finds these young hot chicks that have Santa fetishes and hook up with them, with him literally doing nothing and also smelling of piss and alcohol and all of those kind of things? Well, now that I kind of talk it through, it does seem a little bit ridiculous and unbelievable, but regardless, Amanda, relax a little bit and just enjoy the movie. You got to give it more than 24 minutes. Come on. Okay, anyways, moving on from Amanda. It's okay, Amanda. Even if I disagree with you, I still probably like you, okay? You're probably all right. But anyways, moving on to someone named John Cotton, and they gave the movie 2.5 stars. And they said, Bad Santa, I spent my morning appreciating the dusting of snow on the cars outside and watching this movie while wrapping presents. Oh, that sounds kind of nice. This was a terrible movie. Oh, but not as bad as my wrapping presents technique. Oh, man. I mean, if we compared every movie to my ability to wrap presents, we would run out of Oscars this year without a doubt, because my ability to wrap presents, Oh man, it is bad. Okay, the next review for Bad Santa we're gonna read is from Amy, but 1.5 stars. Amy gave it, and Amy said, "Dad's not picking the movies anymore. Divorce her right now, Dad. Divorce Amy, run away, delete your phone, leave this woman, leave her. This is a Christmas movie classic. How dare you? How dare you?" All right, moving on. Moving on before I get too riled up, Amy. You did it to me. All right, the next person we're going to read is going to be Kieran. I think that's how you say it, Kieran. But anyways, they gave Bad Santa 2 stars, and they said, "This is so much darker than I remember." That's pretty dark. Lorelai Gilmore, you can do way better. That is something. Going back and watching this movie, I always do think it's funny that Lorelai Gilmore is in this and has this Santa fetish. That'll never not be funny for me. Yeah, I've seen Gilmore Girls. My wife turned me on to it. It's a good show. It's a good time, right? But Lorelai is actually crazy in Gilmore Girls too. She's pretty nuts, so it's not surprising that she's doing what she does in this movie. Maybe it's in the same universe. Who knows, right? But anyways, that's Bad Santa. In my opinion, an all-time Christmas movie classic. Is it for everybody? No. But that's what I love about it. It is ridiculous. It is offensive. And it's just a damn good time with so many one-liners that my friends and I quote. We'll quote until the day I die. But let's move along to the next movie. The last movie, which is going to be, of course, Home Alone from 1990. Let's read some negative reviews of one of the greatest Christmas movies ever made. All right, so Home Alone watched by 2.8 million Letterboxd members, which is crazy. All right, Francesco Saviero Cefaloni. I'm sorry, Francesco. I probably completely ruined your name. Apologies. But you did give this movie a 0.5 star. Come on, man. But Francesco said, "Kevin is Rosemary's Baby." That is actually really funny. I'll give you credit for that. That is really funny. Kevin is kind of Rosemary's Baby in some ways. That's pretty funny. All right, the next person we're going to read a review for was Lena Ems, and they gave Home Alone a 0.5 star. And they said, "If the same plot happened without the Christmas decorations, you'd all realize it was terrible." What? You bite your tongue, Lena. How dare you? You're telling me that a prime Joe Pesci trying to hunt down and kill or maybe torture a kid in the 90s, and you've got this kid who's setting up all these booby traps, which is such a 90s trope. I love it. I'll never not be a sucker for it. You're trying to tell me that that wouldn't be a classic movie regardless of having some twinkly lights and a flight to Paris or something like, or, just the Christmassy stuff going on with all of that? Come on. That is just a straight up lie, Lena. Okay, and so the next person who apparently hates Home Alone, the Christmas movie classic that I put on every single year and I love, and I will love until the day I die. The next person was Kyle Kauser. Why can't anybody just have a normal name here? These are so hard to pronounce. But Kyle's a normal name, but the last name, what is that? Gave this movie, sorry, Kyle, 1 star, and they said, "This movie is lucky that I gave it a star. Maybe it was clever and subversive to rip off and sample the Nutcracker Suite in the score at the time. In hindsight, it's an abuse of an infinitely better Christmas magic for stupid movie. This is a movie that reminds me how often in our culture that America's Funniest Home Videos is at the top of the TV charts. No joke. This is one of the few I hate, 3 hates. Movies, LOL. I've turned a corner on this one. I still like the second one, though. Hey, those Bob Saget, America's Funniest Home Videos, the original ones, those were classics. Those were hilarious. Those made me laugh my ass off as a kid. Anything after that, that's a different story, but Bob Saget is the GOAT. So you put some respect on Bob Saget's name. But I like also there that you added that you liked the second movie. That just proves to me that you're kind of just trying to be a contrarian. You secretly like the first movie. How can you like the second movie and not the first movie? The second movie's great, and it's got New York, and it's got a lot of those great Christmas vibes. But come on, Kyle, come on. Don't lie to me, and don't lie to yourself. Okay, and the last negative review we are going to read is going to be from JH008, and they gave Home Alone 1.5 stars, and they said, besides Joe Pesci, it's kind of a long one, sorry guys, buckle up. But they said, besides Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern, who are great and have funny dialogue, which they do, I hate this film. The rest of the characters are beyond obnoxious and unpleasant. The fact that no character learns to have some basic human emotions or learn any lesson is abysmal. The acting is wooden, and whilst I know many like this film, I sadly do not. The directing as well, and some of the editing feels insanely awkward, and I dislike the extreme quick family grabbing their stuff to exit the house. It just feels stupid, and Kevin isn't a great protagonist. He's rude and scares the pizza driver. His family as well are just the worst. Every time we came back to them, I had a massive headache. JH, you're completely missing the point. You're supposed to hate Kevin's family. It's that classic story of just the misunderstood kid, and every misunderstood kid out there, a youngest child or middle child, I'm a middle child, you can kind of relate to some of this in a lot of ways. And some of this stuff, it almost reminds you a little bit of like, What About Bob? Because Kevin is like, don't you see what I'm seeing? These people are being terrible. Look at my uncle. Look at my cousins. They're treating me terribly. And he's just being like gaslit over and over. And it takes Kevin almost getting killed, his parents leaving him home alone and going across the world just to kind of realize, okay, maybe Kevin isn't all that wrong about, maybe he's kind of getting gaslit a little bit here, all right? Let's kind of maybe realize that finally. And what do you mean you dislike the family quickly grabbing their stuff to not miss their flight to Paris? Do you know how much money they probably paid for these flights? I mean, some of them are flying first class. I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't even understand what you're even saying. I mean, I would be running to my like $90 flight to Vegas to fly on a Spirit Airlines flight with a wing that's duct taped, let alone not trying to miss a flight first class to Paris. Are you kidding? You also said that Kevin is not a great protagonist and he's rude and he was also mean to the pizza driver. Okay, it's a harmless prank. Did the pizza driver almost fall and maybe break his neck and die? Yes, but it's just a movie. Relax. And Kevin's rude. Don't even try to give me that shtick about Kevin talking back to his mom. His mom is one of the biggest villains in this movie. Yes, kind of redeems herself later on. The dad is even worse, but still, come on. The mom is a little bit ridiculous. She kind of had it coming to her, and it's just a movie. Kids get frustrated. Give Kevin a break. What is he? 8 years old? 9 years? 10 years old? What? Come on now. Give Kevin a break. He was put through a lot in this movie, even early on in the movie. But anyways, yeah, Home Alone. I mean, come on. One of the greatest Christmas movies ever. Kevin, one of the best protagonists for a kid, especially in movie history, in Christmas movies especially. I mean, especially if you were that age. You look at Kevin, you're like, A, would I love to be left home alone on Christmas? Have all of this to yourself? Absolutely, I would, of course, especially with a family like this. Are you kidding me? B, this kid's a badass. You're watching this kid and you're like, oh, this is cool. This is a kid I can look up to. This kid can hold his own. He's going to the grocery store. I never ate mac and cheese the same ever again. But anyways, Home Alone, how dare you try to slander this movie? It is a classic. How dare you? But anyways, everybody, I hope you enjoyed my reaction to watching negative reviews on Letterboxd of some of the greatest Christmas movies of all time. I hope you all have a good, happy holiday, Merry Christmas, all that good stuff. But if you want some more content from me right now, go ahead and check out one of these videos next to me. If you don't want to miss future videos, the best way to do that is to subscribe. Then you'll just get notified. It'll show up like on your feed and all that good stuff. You'll see a video pop up and then you can just decide, does this look stupid? Does this look okay? Maybe I'll click. I hope you do click. But anyways, everybody, my name is Matt. Have a great Christmas and I'll talk to you in the next one.